And so we have a minute or two before our celebration of life where Kathryn Carter begins, and I thought I would share a ministerial moment with you that happened this morning. In our teaching, we believe that what you think about, you bring about, and what you speak about comes about. And so I'll share this with you. I think it was 2 weeks ago I gave a Sunday talk, and it was called Alphabet Soup for the Soul. And it was about how we use the letters of the alphabet to call forth words that brought forth that healing harmony of love and patience and kindness. And so this morning I went into my office and I found a package of alphabet soup on my desk. So what you think about, you bring about. And I was saying to people, so this Sunday's talk will be about gold bars from heaven. And I'm just hoping, Monday morning, I'm just hoping what you speak about, you bring about. So that's how this teaching works. So I'd like to welcome everyone to CSL Beaumont. I know we have some people watching online as well. Welcome to the celebration of life today. And when I was speaking with Tracy a few days ago, we were asking and finding out about what were Kathryn's favorite colors. And she said Kathryn's favorite colors were yellow and green. So you're seeing a lot of yellow and green around here today. And so we are going to be planting, we'll be ending this ceremony. The closing of the ceremony will be in our rose garden. We'll be planting a yellow rose for Kathryn because, to my knowledge, even with biotechnology and gene splicing, I have not yet seen a green rose. So we get what we choose in this teaching, but sometimes we go with divine guidance. And so a yellow rose will be planted at the end of the service by divine guidance, because I don't believe they're green roses yet, but you know, anything is possible, right? In this teaching, anything is possible. So, beloved family and friends and church community, we gather today in remembrance and in love to celebrate the life of Kathryn Carter. We come with tender hearts, with grateful memories, with quiet tears, and the healing gift of laughter. We come to honor Kathryn's warmth, her grace, and her devotion to art, and also to the love she shared with this community of faith. We welcome one another into this sacred time, and a sacred time it is. May every story that is spoken here today, and every song that is offered today, and every yellow rose that we plant today, and every moment of silence be a blessing of remembrance for Kathryn. May the celebration of life be a place of comfort and gratitude and holy remembering. And may we feel Kathryn's spirit near, blooming still among us, and may the love that gathered us here today, because we are gathered here in love today, guide us gently and softly through this day and through every day of our lives yet to come. And so I know there are people of many faiths and many beliefs and many religions and many truths in this sanctuary today. And yet in our teaching and in our philosophy, we believe that there's one language that speaks through all religions, through all nationalities, through all people, and we believe that's the language of love. And so in honoring that language of love, that is in each and every one of us, that is in each and every nation, we will light a unity candle today. And we're lighting this unity candle, and as we light this unity candle, we will light this unity candle. And so Kelly will accompany me on this as I read this, and then she'll do a little meditation for us. So as we light the unity candle, we affirm the truth at the heart of our ancient wisdom, new thought, science of mind teaching. We bring in all of the old that has come before us, the great philosophers, the great teachers, the great biblical stories. And we also bring in the new awareness of new possibilities, and that new awareness that life goes on and on and on and on. That's part of our teaching. And so we believe in our new thought, ancient wisdom, science of mind philosophy, that life is immortal. We believe that life is continuous, and we believe that life is eternal, forever and forever and forever, and that love never ends, and that Kathryn's light continues to shine through the love we carry forth in our hearts. And so I invite you, as Kelly takes us into a time of meditation and contemplation, I invite you to close your eyes and drift with the music and envision that candle, that heart light of love that you are. And I invite you to bring forth that heart light of love that you are in this service today, through the stories and remembrances you share, through the tears that will come up, through the laughter that will come to the service. But I invite you, as Kelly takes us into a moment of meditation, to see that heart light, that candle of love in your heart, and see it growing brighter and brighter and brighter. And I invite you to unify that heart light, that candlelight of love that is growing brighter and brighter and brighter within you, and to unite it with this unity candle of flame that we lit for Kathryn today. That unity of knowing that love is all there ever is, that love is all powerful, love is all present, and love is the possibility of life going on and on and on. Though I never met Kathryn in person, when I first came to this center as senior minister 2.5 years ago, we did have some phone conversations. And those phone conversations gave me a glimpse of Kathryn's warmth, of Kathryn's grace, and of the love she shared with art, and also of the love she shared with the spiritual community. Today, as we remember Kathryn with the planting of a yellow rose to end our ceremony, and we share stories during the ceremony, and we open our hearts. That's what this is about today. Not closing our hearts, but opening our hearts to all of that love that Kathryn was and all of that love that we felt for Kathryn. This is an opening heart celebration, to feel exactly what you're feeling, to feel the tears and the joy and the sorrow, and knowing that there's a brighter tomorrow. And I invite us to remember that today we celebrate a life that was rooted in love. And that love still blooms among us, still blooming. It's still blossoming. It's still going on right within us, right within our memories, right within our hearts, right within our feelings. And that love will bloom, not just during this service, but after the service and long after the service into your tomorrows and your tomorrows and your tomorrows. And what I invite you to allow to bloom today and to bloom tomorrow are your hearts and your thoughts and your prayers of love for Kathryn, for Kathryn's family, and for friends gathered here today. And know that we invited in through our hearts and our thoughts and our prayers that love that was Kathryn and in our teaching is Kathryn is present right here and today. And so I thought it might be fun, since Kathryn and Art's love story is woven into this community. Many of you knew Kathryn, many of you knew and loved Art from the very foundings of this church, the very first church service. And so I thought it might be fun to take a wander down memory lane about this church that Art so loves and Kathryn so loved. And so we're going to talk a little about the little church that could. Once upon a time, a little church began. Not in a grand building, but in Reverend Art Carter's home, where a small circle gathered with open hearts. Some wondered if the small church circle was too small to serve many people. Yet those in circle that day at those first services, in-home services, said, I think we can. I think we can do this. And then, Chuck, can you advance the slide? And then the little church that could kept growing and kept giving with every willing hand and every open heart that showed up. In 1979, it found a gathering place at the Beaumont's Woman Club, where people came for hope, wisdom, and a faith that always moved them forward. The little church that could grew in courage and kindness, and in 1991, it found a home in a small building at 802 Maple Avenue, a building that had just enough room for a rose garden. The church, the rose garden, and the love keep growing. And the little church that could became known as the little church with a very, very big heart. And that's the church you're in today. We invite you to bring that bigness of your heart, that fullness of your love for Kathryn into your heart here today. And I know each of us comes with a very big heart today, a heart filled with Kathryn's love for each and all of us, and for our love for Kathryn. And now I invite Larry Carter to come up, and he has a share, and he will talk about the life of Kathryn. So, Larry, come on up to the podium. We look forward to finding out a little bit more about Kathryn. Come on up.
We got to figure out where I fit in the order of. I'm actually Larry Smith. I'm Kathryn's oldest son. I think that I have a incredible superpower that I got from my mom. I'm able to feel or sense collective emotion. I used to be fascinated in airports. Remember when airports, you could go through an airport and people were watching their loved ones get on the plane and leave, and they were sad, or they were getting their loved ones off the plane and everybody was happy. As I walked through airports, I would sense, and that emotion would This will be just a few minutes longer than I planned, probably. That emotion would wash through me. And so I feel and sense grief today. And it would help me a lot if we think about love. But the emotion I feel is from you, It's not about my mom. I know she's in a better place. Now that her journey on earth is over. So, my family knows this was going to happen. So good thoughts, please. Kathryn was born on June 15th in 1933 in San Gabriel. Her grandfather was actually born right here in San Bernardino County in the late 1800s. She's one of 4 children. She had an older sister and 2 younger brothers, and all of whom have already passed. She grew up in San Gabriel, attended Pasadena City College, where she met my father, and married him in 1953 at age 20, I think. I was born in May of 1955, about a month before she turned 22. She then had 3 more boys, Russell in 1958, Lee in 1960, and Jay in 1961. Russell passed away a few years ago. Lee lives in Tennessee, and Jay lives in Puerto Rico. Raising and feeding 4 active, large, growing boys was no easy task. Somebody was asking me earlier, I'm actually only the 3rd tallest of her sons. So I'm a little guy. Our dad often worked multiple jobs, and our mother often took jobs outside the home as well. I remember for a while she worked a late shift at a Winchell's donut house. She got to bring home her leftover donuts. When we were all teenagers, we actually had bread delivered to the house every other day. Remember the Helms bread truck? And we had milk delivered every day. Remember milkmen? Ours knew us quite well. A quick story about how much we ate. The first time I brought my eventual wife, Nancy, home for dinner, my mom cooked a large platter of pork chops, a side dish, made a salad. And as I was driving Nancy back home after dinner, she told me she didn't get a pork chop. I said, what are you talking about? What do you mean? She said, well, I was eating my salad, and I looked up, and all the pork chops were gone. In our house, he or she who grabs last grabs least. We always got fed. My mom was a tremendous cook. My children might not know that, but she really was a good cook. But I imagine it wasn't always easy. She was also incredibly smart. She always stressed education. She left college either when she got married or when I was born. I don't remember. But she took classes on and off after that, and actually graduated from Long Beach State in 1978, the same year I graduated from college. She later took and passed their IQ test and became a member of Mensa, which I think would also surprise my children, but I knew her back when. Probably one of the most rewarding parts of her life was fostering handicapped children. A year or 2 before I went to college, she started bringing 1 or more handicapped kids into the house. Michael was with us for a number of years. He suffered from cerebral palsy, and he was confined to a wheelchair. But he was very bright, and he could manipulate his parents to the point that they couldn't care for him and put him in the foster care system. And she worked wonders with Michael. He went through Cub Scouts. He became a stepbrother. She wouldn't let him act out or wallow in self-pity. She liked to say, can't never did anything. Michael's parents enjoyed the changes in his behavior so much, they eventually took him back to their home. Robbie was another one I remember. He was a nonverbal autistic. There were a number of others as well. She loved them all, and I believe she made all of their lives better. My father passed away in 1997, and she moved up to Lake Arrowhead, where she was quite isolated. One Sunday morning at our home in Diamond Bar, I suggested that she should consider moving into a senior living community. She asked me where one was. I told her I didn't know very much about it, but I thought there was a nice one in Beaumont. Next thing I knew, she came back to our house that afternoon and said she bought a place in Sun Lakes. That's when she started attending church here. We first met Art at her 70th birthday party. More about that in a minute. But the next thing we knew, Art started attending our daughter's high school basketball games. We're talking Diamond Bar from here, okay? They told us he liked basketball. Evidently, he liked more than just basketball. They were married in 2004, right here. And what a blessing it was for both of them. I think the years that she and Art lived at their farmhouse may have been the happiest years of her life. The only problem I ever saw was that neither of them had much experience in paying the bills or grilling on the barbecue. I think their spouses did that, so no more barbecuing, and Jenna helped with the bills. Otherwise, though, they were a perfect pair and totally filled the voids in each of their lives. Art became a fixture in our lives as well, at our family dinners, our kids' birthdays, and he delighted in the grandchildren. She's survived by 3 sons, 10 grandchildren, and 17 great-grandchildren. May the peace of Christ be with our family. And, and all of you.
And so I think we got the theme right today, and we got the feeling right today, and we got that sense of spirit right today when we kind of went to the place that this is a ceremony with a lot of people with very, very big hearts. And I think we just got the sense of how enormously big Kathryn's heart was and how enormously big Art's heart is. And how enormously big the heart of this service is today, because each of you and all of you came with an open heart and a heart filled with love and a heart filled with joy for having known Kathryn. And now, in a time of remembrance, we will have Kelly do what the family said was one of Art's favorite songs. So I'm assuming if it was one of Art's favorite songs, Kathryn probably heard it quite a bit too, is my guess. So I'm not sure if it was Kathryn's, but it was Art. So Kelly, if you'll take it away.
This world is not my home. Testing.
Are we on? Okay, there we go.
Art's agreeing that he knows this song.
This world is not my home. I'm just a passing through. My treasures are laid up in where beyond the blue. The angels beckon me through heaven's open door, and I can't just up in glory land, we'll live eternally. The saints on every hand are shouting victory. Their songs of sweetest praise drift back from heaven's shore, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. Oh Lord, you know I have no friend like you. If heaven's not my home, then Lord, what will I do? The angels beckon me through heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. And I can't feel at home in this world anymore.
And so, Chuck, if we can have our photo montage right now. This is a photo montage put together by the family and memories, so you'll recognize yourself in some of the photos and some of the memories. So, Lisa put this together, went through these photos and sent them to me. So we thank Lisa for putting this together for the family.
And the Smiths, they sent.
And the Smiths also. Lisa and the Smiths contributed to this photo montage. So I kind of got to know Art and Kathryn a little better through these photographs. Seeing lots of smiles. Lots of family gatherings and lots of food. I'm seeing food. I got a feeling that was a big part of the Carter family, food.
His 90th birthday lunch.
Oh, that was his 90th birthday brunch. Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm seeing lots of smiles. People are going, I remember that. Lots of memories. Lots of memories of a life well lived. A life well lived in love. I'm seeing a theme of food running through this family. Let's go to breakfast. Let's go to lunch. Life goes on, yes? Life goes on and on and on and on. So these are great photos to share and memories of today to share with the young ones and share that love that Kathryn felt for each and all of us and share that love with them. Let the young ones feel it and know it through you. Life goes on and on and on. And that's the way it should be. The way it should be. So Art's remembering, Art's laughing. He's remembering some good times there, some good times. So as we come to near the end of this photo montage, I'm going to invite some family members up to remember. Nancy Lyons, we have you down as a family remembrance. And Nancy Lyons is Larry Smith's wife.
I am, or Larry.
All right. Thank you.
So hello, everyone, and thank you very much for coming to celebrate the life and, just the wonderfulness and love of Kathryn Carter. As Pastor Michael said, I'm Nancy. I'm married to Larry, and I have two children, Nathan right there next to us, and then Alex, who's out of town today. And I'm one of Kathryn's daughter-in-laws. Kathryn, or Granny, as her grandkids called her, loved her grandkids. She read many, many books to them, and she bought many books for them. And Kathryn made her house a house where grandkids would love to visit. In addition to reading books, Granny and Gramps, so we had Granny and we had Gramps, played numerous card games with the kids. As they got older and understood cards better, she and Jean stepped it up and eventually played whist with them. And if you've not heard of whist, it's actually the precursor to bridge, so it's pretty tough. But there were way more than cards and books going on in Granny's house. Numerous times when I went to pick up my two kids, I found them in a very elaborate tent that was inside their house. I never fully understood how this tent worked, but it had something to do with box fans and sheets of plastic. And the grandkids loved being inside this tent without the adults interrupting them. And they played in the tent, they had snacks in the tent, who knows what else. But she had this tent, it was probably as large as this room. It went through different rooms in their home. They loved it. And Granny also wanted to make sure that her grandkids were exposed to live theater. So once a year, the grandkids would get dressed up, and Kathryn and Jean would feed them a special dinner and take them to live theater. Of course, us parents love that as well, right? One of her more ambitious adventures with them was Camp Granny. Kathryn took Nathan and Alex, our two kids, as well as Lacey and Lauren, Lee's two kids, up to the Lake Arrowhead cabin for a week of fun. Can you imagine 4 grandkids between the ages of 9 and 12 for a week? Wow. Now that I'm a grandma, I really know what that would be like, and I have to say I admire her, but I think she was a little crazy to do that. Kathryn also cheered her grandkids on at basketball games. She came to their games in middle school where you have to bring your own lawn chair and sit on the blacktop as the heat rises. And she came to many high school basketball games and sat in uncomfortable bleachers. Eventually, a certain gentleman started accompanying her. And as I said, I doubt that Art really liked high school basketball that much, but he got to enjoy the drive back and forth to Diamond Bar and sit next to Kathryn on the bleachers. So in closing, I'd just like to tell a humorous story. My mom and Kathryn were friends. My mom was a few years older than Kathryn. And when my mom turned 70, we had a terrific surprise party for her. Now, knowing that Larry and I tried to treat our moms in a similar fashion, Kathryn expected her own 70th birthday party. Sure enough, we invited her to our house for a birthday dinner. We had a festive dinner with good food and a birthday cake, but it was just the 5 of us. Kathryn was still expecting that this was her surprise party, so even on her way home, she kept looking over her shoulder to see birthday decorations and signs, but there weren't any. Well, why weren't there any? Why? Well, this will be a good thing for you to talk to Larry about later, because Larry thought she was turning 69. She actually turned 70. We were embarrassed. So we set about having the 70th birthday party for her in October, but her actual birthday was in June. We had a great time. All of her children, all of their wives, their grandchildren, everybody came, and we had a hoedown. Lots of friends, too. It was a hoedown complete with a square dance collar, music, and a barbecue dinner, and there was a big cake with 70 candles. And we wanted to make sure all of her friends were invited to the party, so we called the church office here and got a list of who to invite. And it was at Kathryn's 70th birthday party we first met Art. And as we know, they lived a great love story together. We'll miss her.
So I loved from that share, a house that grandchildren loved to visit. And so I know as each of you and all of you go forward in your lives, that you will make certain that your house is a house that the grandchildren love to visit and carry on that tradition of Kathryn. What a wonderful compliment to Kathryn, a house that grandchildren love to visit. Beautiful. Now, is there anyone else from the family that would like to do a share or remembrance or reading? Anyone else? Or else? Okay. All right. So I will now invite Yvonne Fowler up, and she will do some remembrances for CSLB remembers her. Many people knew Kathryn for many, many years.
Well, we've known Kathryn for quite some time. I guess it was 2004 when she was married here in the church. Is that right? Is that what you said? Well, this is from Reverend Carrie Masters. She's not here. She's up in Washington or Oregon, up there. But she sent a tribute, and I want to read it. Kathryn Carter entered my life on a beautiful day, standing as a radiant bride beside a man she deeply loved, Reverend Art Carter. Surrounded by their adult children at the chapel by the park, now the Center for Spiritual Living, Beaumont, their joy was unmistakable. It was clear even then that Kathryn and Reverend Art shared a bond built on devotion, partnership, and quiet strength. Their love revealed itself in the smallest moments. One Sunday, my mother and I watched them pause in the hallway before entering the sanctuary. They turned toward each other, nodded in gentle agreement, and shared a warm embrace. Moments later, Reverend Carter announced his retirement from the ministry, a decision made, as always, in unity with Kathryn. I came to know them more personally early in my own ministry at CSL Beaumont. During a lunch together, I sat across from them as they held hands beneath the table, exchanging soft smiles throughout our conversation. Their affection was steady, effortless, and deeply touching. Kathryn herself was a woman of grace, beautiful in spirit and presence. She was warm, easy to talk to, and carried herself with great quiet dignity. She often accompanied Reverend Art on visits to the congregants who were ill or recovering, offering comfort simply through her kindness and gentle companionship. Her life was a testament of love lived generously, partnership expressed daily, and compassion shared freely. Kathryn's presence enriched every room she entered, and her memory continues to bless all who knew her. And that's from Reverend Carrie Masters, which I'm sure many of the family members did know. Okay, and I'd like to invite Emmy up now, and she's going to give another tribute to Kathryn.
Did you have something for Adrian?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you. I met Kathryn here at the center, and I loved her immediately. She reminded me of my grandmother, not that she was old enough to be my grandmother, but she kind of looked like my grandmother. And when I look at her here with the white hair, of course my hair was brown then, but I always loved her white hair, and now I have it. It's so exciting. It's amazing. But she just embodied what my grandmother used to call gracious, being a gracious person. She was just kind, and she was warm. The first time I went out to the house, the center used to have picnics at Carter's yard. They saw a picture of the family having a barbecue out there. We used to have barbecues out there. I joined here in 2007, and at that time we were doing barbecues at Chuck Braswell's ranch. But then we stopped doing that. So I used to bug Kathryn and Art, could we have another picnic out at their property. Well, she had to make sure that I was going to really do a good job because she didn't want anything messed up at the house. So she sort of tested me and made sure I did a good job when it was Jeannie Carter's celebration of life. She made sure everything was done right. And then we went out to her house and she said, well, don't touch this, and you can have this and whatever. So we actually, Rithalma's husband rented chairs and tables and brought them out to the property. And our kitchen angels made sure that we didn't touch whatever we weren't supposed to touch. And we had the beautiful picnic out on their property. It was 2019. It was 2019. I had found the paper for it the other day. She had gorgeous china, and we kind of bonded over the china, the old-fashioned things, cooking, and food. And after a while, as Kathryn's mobility was more limited, I used to cook for them. And first, I was cooking for them just because I wanted to cook for them. And she said, you can't keep cooking for us. We have to pay you to cook for us. So it was like whatever the food cost plus $10. So I used to cook for them. And I'd go out there, and we'd spend hours going through her recipes, my recipes, make sure everything was organic and, just perfect, because she had ordered in all the meats. The whole freezer was full with the right kind of meat. You couldn't have the wrong kind of meat. And it was just fun, getting to know Art and Kathryn in that way. Art was always busy outside on the yard. He was always doing something on the yard, and Kathryn was in the house. So that was my experience with the two of them, and with Kathryn, I just love her to bits. So thank you.
Thank you. And then we have a memory from Adrian Madden. He was one of the practitioners here. Became a practitioner after your time, Art, but not too much after the time. And I know you know him. He was our sound man, and he thinks the world of you and Kathryn. And he said, Kathryn Carter, practitioner, was a good friend, always kind, positive, and loving. She always greeted me and encouraged me to become a practitioner, and any more that I could do, anything that she could do. Her smile was beautiful as could be, and always included her eyes, and that's true too. She cared about everyone and about her home. CSL Beaumont, that was her home. Her kind ways included everyone, no matter their age, their religion, their race, or their creed. There's nothing I could ever say about Kathryn that could be considered negative, and I feel this realm will miss her all the time. I'm knowing and trusting she was wherever she needed to go and is waiting to greet the loved ones to come after her. Thank you for being who you are, Kathryn, and I hope to see you someday when I go where you are. That was Adrian. And I wrote a few notes of my own. Kathryn was what, 93, 4? 93? Lots of remarkable years. Kathryn, to me, was a picture of grace and class. She carried herself always with elegance, treated others with kindness, and she had a gentle spirit that made those around her feel welcome, loved, and valued. It was such great experience and fun watching Reverend Carter and Kathryn get together after they lost their spouses. They made such a beautiful couple, both tall and stately, both reserved and elegant, a beautiful sight to behold. We loved having the center's picnics and gatherings in their beautiful home on a hill. It was always warm and inviting, filled with love and good times. When it was time, they moved to the assisted living in Redlands, where they resided. One of the memories that I have, and I'm grateful for, the love, was Kathryn's love for Dr. Joseph Murphy, as lectures in his teaching, for anybody that knew who he was. She turned me on to his teaching, and what a blessing. We had great times in our discussions and shared many insights regarding his thoughts. And I wanted to say that because I got her books. I got a lot of her books, and I think of her quite often when I read those. But to me, the Carters were the epitome of shared love as they cared for each other through the physical and the mental experiences over their late years, each showing their love and strength in the time of need. And I really wanted to say something about pain because she had a lot of pain towards the end. Pain is a common symptom to end-of-life experiences and illnesses. Pain changes behavior, even for those who are who have been on a spiritual path throughout their life. Remembering love and sharing and touching are the things that we need to remember. Beneath the pain is still the same heart, the same person. We are not defined by our hardest moments. Kathryn was always there for you and loving you every minute, Reverend Mike. Reverend Carter, Art. She'll always be with you and you'll always be with her, the epitome of a loved couple. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you for those shares. Is there anyone else who would like to share? Yes, Eddie Ann.
We're going to use a portable mic, Reverend Michael.
Oh, sure.
Is it on?
Anyway, I used to do youth church, and I would bring the elders out after lesson, and we would line up across this podium there. And Kathryn would always say, "You are touching the future."
Thank you. I have a teacher voice.
Use mic.
Okay, use a mic. Some of you know I don't like this thing, but anyway. There was a youngster here, and I cannot tell you the name because that would be divulging the person's privacy. But he would stand up there, instead of speaking of the lesson, he would be doing that dance, you know, that, whatever that's called, that scissor or whatever, and he would just be a real pain in the, anyway. She would come up, all she would do would be like wink at him or do like this, and he would settle down. I mean, we had talked about his behavior coming out, but I don't know, it was something she would do to that child that made him understand, I'm in front of adults, I need to behave. And it always happened, and I really appreciated how she'd always come up to me and she said, you are touching the future. So when you said that she talked and did special needs kids, then for me, I understood that because I was a kindergarten teacher and I survived. They're not diagnosed yet in kinder. So now I understand. She had that gift, just a gift, to just wink at a kid or shake her head, and those pretty blue eyes were like marbles up there or something. But I appreciated her. Thank you for allowing me to share.
Anyone else who would like to share? All right, if we're complete with the shares, then we will have Kelly go into little music for us. And so I feel we got the theme for today's celebration of light correct. It was about a woman with a very, very, very big heart. And each of us who came to know her, I just through a few phone calls, my heart became bigger through knowing Kathryn's heart. And so as I read the benediction today, I invite each of us and all of us to focus on the unity candle of love, to take that candle into your heart and let that candle in your heart becomes a bigger flame of love in your heart. And know that that's Kathryn's light of love and light of life that she shared with us, and she still shares with us today, because in our teaching, life is eternal, immortal, and continuous. And Kathryn's love goes on and on and on through the stories we share, the memories we share, the photos we look at. And what we certainly know for each of us and all of us in our own way is to make our homes a place where the grandchildren want to visit. And not just to make our homes a place where the grandchildren want to visit, but to make our hearts a place where the grandchildren want to visit. And so as I read this benediction, I invite you to focus on the unity flame, to take that into your heart, to expand that into your heart, to know that's Kathryn's love and your love is becoming one, and to know with me that, as Kathryn certainly knew, and lived and breathed and shared, that what the world needs now is love, sweet love. That's the only thing that there's just too little of. When I am gone, release me. Let me go. I have so many things yet to see and to do. You mustn't tie yourself to me with tears. Be happy. We had so many loving years. I gave you my love. You can only guess how much you gave to me in happiness. I thank you for the love you each have shown. But right now, it's time for me to travel on alone. So grieve for a while, if grieve you must. Then let your grief become comforted by trust. It's only for a while that we must part, so bless the memories within your heart. I won't be far away, for life goes on and on and on. So if you need me, call. I'll come. Though you can't see or touch me, I'll be near. And if you listen with your heart, you'll know all of my love around you, soft and clear. And then when you must come this way alone, I'll greet you with a smile and welcome home. And so concludes our celebration of life, and we'll go with a closing ceremony. And those of you who would like to join me in the rose garden out that door, we'll have a closing rose garden ceremony where we'll plant a yellow rose bush, not a green rose bush, for Kathryn. So if you'd like to join me out there, and if anyone has any additional shares or words you'd like to share, join me in the rose garden. If you'd like to remain here, we'll be coming back in. It'll be just short out there, and then we'll come into a lunch, which the family has provided for more time together and sharing and get to know each other. So I invite you to follow me to the rose garden, and we'll do our closing ceremony out there for Kathryn. I have one out there. Thank you. Your share was wonderful. Thank you.
we do still have a Lucy work. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, it just works differently.